everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this birthday card using Let's Paw-ty. It's a full-size stamp set and you can find it in the core catalog. I'm going to do a star shaker for this card using the star shaker window thin cuts. And then I'm going to use some glitter paper, some Bluebell glitter paper and Bluebell cardstock. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to cut a piece of white daisy at 4 1/4 by 6. Okay, I'm going to cut 2 pieces and I'm going to use my Misty to stamp this large stamp, this background stamp on this white daisy cardstock. So I cut it longer because I want it to be able to keep it secure in the Misty, and then I'm going to trim it down just outside the border of that design. Okay, so I've inked it up with black ink and I'm going to stamp out my image. And the beauty of the Misty is that if you miss a spot, you can go back and restamp like at the top there. Okay. So there's my panel all stamped out, and then I did it again. So I have 2 of them, all right? Okay. So now I'm going to bring my Big Shot in, and with one of these panels, I'm going to cut the background star shape. This will be the back of my shaker, and I'm going to place it on my stamped image strategically and run that through. So that's where my star shaker is going to sit on the front of my card. Okay, so now I have this star shape with the stamped image on it, and I'm going to color it in using the tri-blend markers. Okay, so off screen, I've colored this in, and we're ready to start creating our shaker. So I'm going to cut out the top, the border shaker using Bluebell glitter paper. So I get this shaker outline, the star, and then I'm going to use the smaller shaker star to make some glitter confetti to go inside my shaker. This cuts out some outlines of stars. I think they look really cool inside your shaker card. So I'm going to poke all these out. So I'm going to skip ahead. All right, so I've got all of my confetti cut out, and I'm ready to do some stamping for my sentiment. So I'm going to stamp "It's Your Birthday" and "Hot Diggity Dog." So these I'm going to cut out using thin cuts, but first the top portion of this strip of Bluebell cardstock I'm going to use for my background to create a border around my image for the front of my card. So I've cut that at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and now I'm going to cut around the edges of this background stamp. I'm just cutting just beyond the black line. Okay, so now I can create the front of my card. But first, I'm going to create some banners using the Basic Banners thin cuts. This is a retired item, so if you don't have any banner dies in your stash, you can hand cut them and then dovetail them by hand. Okay, so now it's time to create our star shaker. All right, so I have a piece of acetate, and this has some protective coating on it, so I've just got it started. And then with the foam, what you do is you peel the edging away from the backing. Okay, so the top of it still has protective coating on it, and the bottom of it is sticky. And then I'm going to place that down on my star. And it's a bit fiddly, and you have to kind of force it and stretch it and move it around to make sure that it goes where you want it to go. So be the boss and make it happen. And then I'm taking some powder and I'm just tapping it along the edges so that my confetti and glitter doesn't stick to the inside edges of my star shaker. So I'm going to put some of these glitter pieces that I cut out, and then I have some of the gold star confetti to put in there as well. And I'm just putting a tiny pinch because I don't want a lot of my confetti to cover up the colored images inside this star. So I'm taking the protective coating off the sticky and then placing that clear acetate piece down on top of everything and then peeling away the coating. Okay. So I should have placed my glitter down on double-sided tape before I ran it through, but since I didn't, I'm putting some 1/8 of an inch score tape along the edges of that glitter topper. And then I'm going to place it down on top of everything. And again, you do have to fiddle with it and get all of those points to match up correctly, but they will. You just have to kind of work with it. So there's my shaker. Okay. All right, let's build the card. I've got a regular A2 size card. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to place that bluebell piece down. Now that's the dark side of bluebell. And I'm going to add that to the card front using some Tombow tape runner. And then I'll add my stamped panel to the card front as well, leaving a little border around the edges of bluebell. And then I'm going to place that star, and I'm putting it exactly where the pattern shows. So it's kind of like putting a puzzle piece back in its place, all right? So I'm following the pattern on the back panel of the card, and then I'm placing the star down to match that pattern up. So it looks continuous, except inside the star it's colored in. Okay. And then I'm going to add my sentiments. Now, I realized that my banner for It's Your Birthday, I didn't like the direction of the points of the banner. So off screen, I restamped it and recut it so that the points faced the other direction. So I'm going to pop those using the foam tape that's on the inside of the star foam, shaker foam. You get little extra bits to use. So I'm using that to pop my sentiment on the front of the card. And that's my finished card. Super fun. These dogs are so much fun to color in. Happy dogs for a happy birthday. I'll make a list of all the supplies I used with links in the description below. And I appreciate you watching my video today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching.